Have you ever been in a crowded room, surrounded by people, yet felt completely and utterly alone? Or maybe you've scrolled through social media, seeing everyone's perfect lives, and a wave of isolation just washes over you. It's a strange, sinking feeling, isn't it? If you've ever felt this way, you're not imagining it, and you're certainly not the only one. It seems like we live in the most connected time in human history, yet loneliness has become a silent epidemic. Why is that? Why do so many of us feel so disconnected? Let's really dig into this. What is loneliness, anyway? It's not just about being physically by yourself. You can be alone and feel perfectly content, peaceful even. Loneliness is a feeling, a painful emotional state of perceived social isolation. It's the gap between the social connections you want and the ones you actually have. It's a deeply personal, subjective experience. Two people can have the exact same number of friends, but one might feel perfectly supported while the other feels crushingly lonely. It's about the quality of our connections, not just the quantity. So, why has this feeling become so common? One of the biggest culprits might be right in your pocket. Our digital world, while amazing in many ways, has fundamentally changed how we interact. Social media platforms promise connection, but often deliver a curated, unrealistic highlight reel of other people's lives. We see the filtered vacations, the perfect relationships, the career successes. We don't see the messy, mundane, and difficult moments that make up real life. This constant comparison can leave us feeling inadequate and like our own lives don't measure up. It creates a false sense of what connection and happiness should look like, making our own reality feel lacking. We're engaging in what some call social snacking. Quick, superficial interactions that give a temporary hit of connection but don't provide the deep nourishment we truly need. It's like eating candy when your body is crying out for a real meal. Think about it. How many of your online friends do you feel you could call in the middle of the night during a crisis? The very nature of online interaction can be passive. We scroll, we like, we might even comment. But this is very different from the active, engaged, and sometimes messy work of building and maintaining real-world friendships. The effortless nature of digital connection can make us less willing to put in the effort required for deep, meaningful relationships. It's easier to send a text than to arrange a coffee date. It's simpler to like a photo than to have a difficult, vulnerable conversation. But it's not just technology. Our modern lifestyles have shifted dramatically. We're more mobile than ever before. People move for jobs, for education, for new opportunities. This means we often leave behind the communities we grew up in, the lifelong neighbors, the childhood friends, the extended family that once formed a natural built-in support system. We arrive in new cities where we have to start from scratch, building a social circle from the ground up as busy adults. This is incredibly difficult. We've traded the stability of tight-knit, multi-generational communities for the pursuit of individual goals and ambitions. While that brings freedom and opportunity, it can also come at the cost of belonging. The very structure of our lives has changed. Think about the concept of the third place. Places outside of home and work where people traditionally gathered and socialized, like community centers, public squares, local pubs, or places of worship. Many of these have declined in popularity or disappeared altogether. We go from our private homes to our private cars to our work cubicles and back again. There are fewer spontaneous opportunities to bump into neighbors, to chat with acquaintances, to feel like part of a larger community fabric. This lack of casual, low-stakes social interaction can slowly erode our sense of connection to the world around us. And what about our mindset? There's a huge cultural emphasis on independence and self-reliance. We're often taught that needing others is a sign of weakness. We're supposed to be strong, to handle things on our own. This creates a powerful barrier to reaching out when we feel lonely. Admitting you're lonely can feel like admitting you failed in some fundamental way. This stigma is a huge problem. It traps people in a cycle of silence. The more lonely you feel, the more shame you might feel about it, which makes you less likely to seek the very connections that could help you. It's a vicious circle. When we feel lonely, our brains can actually work against us. Research shows that chronic loneliness can make us more sensitive to social threats. We start to interpret neutral social cues as negative. Did that person not smile back because they're having a bad day, or because they don't like you? A non-lonely brain might not even notice. But a lonely brain is on high alert for rejection. This can make us more defensive, more withdrawn, and less likely to take social risks, which of course only deepens the isolation. It's like our brain's alarm system is stuck on high, perceiving danger where there is none, and trapping us inside our own fortress of solitude. Let's also talk about the pace of modern life. We are all so busy. Our schedules are packed with work, errands, family obligations, and the endless pursuit of productivity. We're often exhausted when we finally get a moment of downtime. The idea of organizing a social outing can feel like just another task on an already overwhelming to-do list. It's easier to just collapse on the couch and watch a movie. We've optimized our lives for efficiency, but we've forgotten to schedule in the unstructured, unhurried time that is so essential for genuine human connection to blossom. Friendship can't be rushed. It needs time and space to grow. So, we've talked about technology, mobility, the loss of third places, cultural stigma, and our own busy lives. It paints a pretty bleak picture, doesn't it? It can feel like the entire world is set up to make us lonely. But here's the most important part. Understanding the problem is the first step toward finding a solution, and there are solutions. Feeling lonely is not a life sentence. If you're feeling this way, the first thing to know is that your feelings are valid. Don't beat yourself up for it. The second thing is to understand that small steps can make a huge difference. You don't have to suddenly become a social butterfly overnight. It's about making small, intentional shifts. Maybe it starts with reevaluating your relationship with social media. Could you schedule specific times to check it, rather than letting it fill every spare moment? Could you use it more actively, to plan real-world meets instead of just passively scrolling? Then, think about taking a social risk, however small. This is where you have to fight that brain chemistry that's telling you to retreat. It could be as simple as making eye contact and smiling at the barista, or asking a coworker about their weekend and actually listening to the answer. It could be texting that friend you haven't seen in a while and just saying, "Hey, I was thinking about you. How have you been?" The key is to initiate. Don't wait for others to reach out to you. Take the lead, even if it feels scary. Another powerful strategy is to find connection through shared interests. What do you love to do? Is it hiking, reading, painting, board games, volunteering? Whatever it is, there are other people out there who love it too. Joining a club, a class, or a volunteer group creates a natural, low-pressure way to meet people. The shared activity gives you an automatic conversation starter and a common bond. You're not just there to make friends, which can feel intimidating. You're there to do something you enjoy, and friendships can grow organically from that shared experience. And perhaps most importantly, we need to relearn the art of vulnerability. True connection isn't built on presenting a perfect, polished version of ourselves. It's built on sharing our real selves, including our struggles and our imperfections. Being vulnerable is terrifying. It means risking rejection, but it's also the only way to find true acceptance and belonging. It's about having the courage to say to a trusted friend, "You know, I've been feeling really lonely lately." More often than not, you'll find that their response isn't judgment, but empathy. They might even say, "Me too." Breaking the cycle of loneliness is a journey, not a destination. It takes courage, effort, and patience. But it is one of the most worthwhile journeys you can take. Humans are social creatures. We are biologically wired for connection. It's as essential to our well-being as food, water, and shelter. We're not meant to do life alone. So if this conversation has resonated with you, if you've felt that pang of recognition, I encourage you to take one small step today. Just one. Send that text, look up that local book club, smile at a stranger, start a conversation. It might not solve everything at once, but it's a start. And every great journey begins with a single step. You have the power to change your story. We're all in this together, trying to navigate this complex, beautiful, and sometimes lonely world. I hope this discussion has given you some food for thought and maybe a little bit of hope. If you found this helpful, or if you have your own experiences with loneliness that you'd like to share, please leave a comment below. Reading through them can make us all feel a little less alone. And if you'd like to explore more topics about our inner worlds and how we connect with each other, please consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you so much for watching and for being here. Take care.